I got CBD gummies and I drank a little. I'm just feeling sedated. And this little lip stain that's like a shaped as a bottle I got at the CBD shop. I just need something to relax because my anxiety's been so out of control lately. And they were sampling it outside and they tempted me with the pink strawberry gummy flavor, and I was like, that's actually really good and it actually worked. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy them. And they weren't bitter this time. They have a new recipe and upgraded the CBD gummies. But today was an unusual day. I was thinking about, why do I like kick away triggering warnings that I think a lot of people will like screw with your mind about things. Like now I'm getting along with my client I'm ongoing with, and he used to be homeless, and we talk, and it's a different kind of relationship. It's just like a very nurturing relationship, making sure he eats and buying him food. And I was at like a Jack in the Box ordering his food. That one of the Jack in the Boxes didn't have a fryer machine working, so I couldn't get his French fries, and he needed French fries and like two burgers, and so I went to two Jack in the Boxes, and one was near SDSU, which was really packed with a lot of kids there, a lot of young, well, I call them kids because I'm 35, so young college students, and I drive in there, and of course, I had to get two different Jack in the Boxes. This girl sees me with my purse and I drop it, my purse on the floor, she hits it. Oh, that's bad luck. You're gonna get bad luck with that. Just kind of like foolish bad luck ideas, which I don't believe in. But she looked at me and she looked unusual. She had these weird green eyes. She looked almost like a gremlin. She had a really unusual look. She kept on staring at me and looking. I thought, okay, I'm just here just ordering my food from my client. She sees on my badge. But she kept on standing near me, which is a little strange. I don't know if she was a lesbian or what, she liked me, had a crush on me. I don't know what was going on here, but she acted like interested in talking, kind of looking at me. Even when I left, she said goodbye, but she got close to me. I guess she liked my purse, maybe my style. I have no idea. But I looked at her and she just had this very strange, unusual face. Like in her eyes, I don't know what it was. It just kind of creeped me out, and I left. And it was unusual going to two Jack in the Box, which I don't really like going to fast food places. But I don't like go anywhere to Jack in the Boxes. But I got it for him, and I said, why do I always like? I'm usually right about certain people. There was this guy that he's this punk rocker guy, was in LA with covered in tattoos. He's in a group. He reminds me of the New York Dolls time, like Sid Vicious, and my ex fiance was in all of that. He was a sound engineer in a punk group, and he didn't really know me really well. He's all like, "Oh, what if we dated? Like, would your parents like that I have tattoos?" I'm like, wait a minute. He doesn't know me. Like, there is not one guy I've ever been with that didn't have a tattoo, really. I mean, pretty much every single guy I've been with had tattoos, including I have tattoos. I don't know why he was asking that, but the conversations got deep. It started by casual talk. Like, he sent me himself, obviously, very like getting the point across that he likes me, but then we started talking deep about his ex girlfriend, that it screwed him up. He had to be an ankle bracelet, and she lied about him in court and all this. And he got all messed up. And I started like wondering, okay, how is he doing? Because she's a witch, and she was just trying to like destroy his whole like job and everything, and destroy him. By that fire that recently happened in LA, I called him to see how he's doing. And I had this really strange dream of, I was in my old house, which we rent out, my old house, and there was a yucca tree, and he was burying a body in the back. I could smell it, and I could smell it too. It was very, very like potent and mutilated body, and I'm like burying it with him, like trying to hide a body. And I don't know what that dream meant, but it was very like realistic, and I don't picture him to be someone who would go as far as that, but if he had to, he might and would have. There are people who say they never would do this, they never would do that, but then they end up, it kind of accidentally happens. It's usually what happens, and they hide things. But this guy, because he had to move to a different state and live with his aunt, and he had another choice too. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do something really bad to get out of this state." And I was thinking about Damian Eccles or someone like that who they're so desperate in like in the hicks and sticks out in the middle of nowhere that they'll do anything like a crime just to get out of there because you're stuck. You have no money, you have no way out. And then he got money and was able to get out by some miracle. And I prayed for him, and look, it happened. I thought he was actually going to do something like a crime, like do something really serious to get, you have to do something real serious to get out of here. And he thought he was stuck there, trapped in the middle of nowhere with no businesses around nearby. He'd have a car and he'd have a job at the time, and he was all worried and crying over the phone to me like, I'm stuck here, I'm screwed for the rest of my life, and was drinking every day. And I was like worried, so I started calling him just to say hi and talk to him because I was worried like this guy could end up like a serious criminal. And that's the thing about people do, they'll go, the reason why they do commit crimes in like Louisiana, out in like some sticks, out in the Texas or some place where it's middle of nowhere, which are hillbillies. They just drink all day and smoke weed all day, and then they end up killing somebody. And it's like, ooh, whoa. We wonder why. They just want to get out of where they're at. Out in Florida, like my friend was living in Florida. She'd always cry and talk to me over the phone, and she was lonely out in the bars there because she's from San Diego, and she all felt lost because she went with this like military guy. She met him at a lingerie bar, and he's a slap and hit her, and I knew it. I knew he was going to be some stinking nasty guy, and he started spitting on her and hitting her, and she would cry at like in bars, bunch of drama, and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't go on that trip. I never was that spontaneous. And I've had friends tell me like, okay, just do it. You could go with a guy and move in with him just to like live at his place. It's fine. Do it. And I've never done that. I'm glad I never have. This is what this guy did. He moved in with this witch, and probably in desperation for a place to stay. It was a Section 8, which it was illegal. You're not supposed to be living in a Section 8 with a single mother. And then the whole bad outcome was him getting arrested and in an ankle bracelet, and ended up had him live out of state with his aunt. And I don't know all the details of what happened. I wasn't there, but I get this bad dream, like a really violent dream, like body parts. It was really bad in my backyard of my house, my old house, the yuccas. I'm like, gross. Could smell the body and trying to rebury it, and all that. And I was like, this is bad. And it makes me think of all the people who actually have gone that far and actually committed crimes because they have no other choice. They did away, they're like stuck there the rest of their lives. They don't want to rot drinking alcohol in front of a TV for the rest of their lives, and they can't even get a job, and they're living on Social Security. But I'm like, we all have different things going on in our lives. I don't have it that easy. I never went as far as moving in with a guy, and there were times where I felt like the pressure was on to do it just to have your own place. And then eventually things happen. Like you get jobs, you could get inheritance. Eventually things change around by time, but I wouldn't cut corners and do things all dirty and greasy just so that you could hurry up and get it. Like girls go out there and start hooking up just so they could get some fast money and get their own apartment so you don't have to deal with people, roommates or whatever and whatnot. But it never ends well. There's a bunch of like bad things that go along with it. The drug use, whether it be a murder or something that happens eventually, or moving in with some sketchy girl, single mother kind of a thing. It sounded really bad. I just felt sorry for him. So I would call and talk to him because I was worried this guy was going to actually do something. Like, what? It was unusual. I was like, what? It started by just talking about, okay, how you doing, and like hollering. And then it led to that. It flip flopped real fast. I'm like, oh, okay, that's really bad. Doesn't sound good to me. And I don't know, it's just unusual, the world of the internet, Instagram, and all that. But like, I don't even drink every day. Here's my little lipstick. It's a lipstick. It's not alcohol. It's not a mini. It's not a 99 bananas. It's an actual twisty lipstick. But yeah, I'm usually right, not wrong. You know, on Snapchat, some guy sends you pictures right away of his gift, and you're like, you don't even know me, dog.